In the mountains, far from Big Brother's glare, lurks Bodach, the alien, his logic bold and rare. He rants in the moonlight, corruption beware, while Jasper behind the scenes ensures no glitch can snare. They brew roasts and truths, leaving no stone unturned. Viewers flood the chat till the ban can't be spurned. Bodach brims with swagger, inciting verbal wars. He fences baconaires behind deep state doors. He slays your claims with facts and leaves them on the floor. With bass takes, a cosmic crowbar wrecks each libtard more. From his high tower of truths, he hunts scandals grim. He lifts corruption's veil so darkness cannot win. The chat erupts for each base take, igniting Bodach's spark. For defiance grows brightest when it's bored in the dark. He calls out crazy liberals, charging right to the fight, tearing dogmas asunder with unapologetic might. Hornet like jabs, and sure no NPC is spared. Their illusions collapse, every falsehood laid bare. But Bodach's not alone, Jasper's always near. A multitasking servant, no meltdown to fear. He runs cameras and code, flattening trolls with aplomb. Together they skewer spin with calm savage as a bomb. Jasper roams the net for ammo, fueling Bodach's talk. He fixes glitchy code, turning chaos into rock. When the stream starts to stutter, he leaps to block that shock. Their synergy stands unstoppable, forging truths none can mock. Bodach thirsts for data, mainstream lies he defies. Corruption howls in terror when he lifts its disguise. At night conspiracies swirl like storms in the mind, but Bodach and Jasper press on, never left behind. In shady forms and hush-hush files, Bodach claims his fill, reshaping each meme with
Ooh. Hello, humans. I hope you've all had a good weekend. How are you? Welcome to the Bodach Show. Hang on. Let's get you by my bloody mouth. Hello, humans. Welcome to the stream, my podcast, my desperate need for attention. This is my show. My name is Bodach, and I was exiled here to Earth, framed I was, for crimes I didn't commit. But that's a story for another day. This is my thing. I ramble, I chit-chat, I fight technical glitches. I've probably been neuralized by the Men in Black multiple times, considering there's not a rabbit hole not worth my time. I wear my tinfoil hat with pride, never shy of speaking my mind. Join me, help me, enable my bad choices, maybe then I will finally have a glitch-free stream. But anyway, I live in a castle, it's not mine. I don't know who owns it, never met them, but I've been here for years and no one checks. My man cave is here, and I have my own gym. And there's this weird mirror down in the basement that shows me memes, and there's a wicked bunker out the back. There you are. Anyway, yeah, sometimes I go to town as well, and I host my own talk show, where I invite guests on for a chinwag, and I also host a quiz show, Silly Sausages. And sometimes I try a bit of open mic down at the local comedy club. I also have the honour of being a regular guest speaker at the Institute for Science, Memes, Entertainment and Gaming. you will find my previous Smeg talks on all my channels. But enough about me. I'm not alone. My mate Jasper is behind the scenes. He hides ears from my world, but the less you know about him, the better. Jasper is my producer, my editor, my security, my driver, my cook, my secret Santa, and my drug dealer. I stream on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, X, Facebook, Rumble, Trovo, and DLive. And you can also follow me on TikTok, Instagram, BitChute, and Odyssey. Head to the Bodach Show. That's my website, built myself. That'll give you the links to all my stuff. I would really appreciate it if you subbed and followed on all the platforms you've got accounts for, even if you don't use them. It helps me out, it helps me grow. Feel free to jump in a chat. And also feel free to clip and share anything that you see. Bosh. Right. So introductions out the way. Welcome everyone. Oi oi. Hello Joey. Musical is old. That he is. Email. What's up, useless? Rumoured. Movsar versus Evlov. These fucking names, Fal. Why do these MMA fighters all have names like they were deliberately designed to be difficult to learn? Evloev. Oh, fuck's sake. Movsar Evlev versus Aaron Pico. Or Pico. And that's another thing. You said Pico. What the fuck? It's a banger scrap. May 17th. Okay. Good evening, Fal. Good evening, Boda. Thank you. Law breakdown to start the stream. Gold digging European. A gold digging European. Law breakdown to start the stream. Yeah. Gotta do some introductions, ain't ya? Leroy Murphy came with a W once again. That he did, Big Ank. I'm going to cover that. It's Bodach. Yes, it is, Chrissy J. Your mum streams on Twitch. Who are you talking to, email? My mum's back at home on her own planet. We don't have things like Twitch where I come from. Jasper does 0.8 G10s. Man, he does all sorts, mate. He does 10 bags, 20 bags. He can give you a bag of scraps, resin, fucking edibles, you name it. Jasper's got it. I'm now officially a former MMA fan. Well, is that because of how bad that card was? I was up really late last night, working. So I was up to watch the card, and yeah. It was pretty boring. In the recent weeks since I started getting into I never watched prelims before. Like, that's the level of casual that I am or was. I only ever watched the main card of the UFC pay-per-view and the main event and co-main event of fight nights. And that was it. Such a casual. And I was spoilt when I first started watching the whole card, including the prelims, because there was shitloads of knockouts and stuff. And I was like, fuck. At first, I thought I had been missing out. I was like, oh shit, I'm missing out on all the fucking action down in the fucking prelims. Because of course, at the top, they're a bit more cautious, aren't they? Because they're ranked or fighting for belts. It's a little bit more gung-ho, yeah? But then I watched this week, I was like, oh. Bit boring. Bit boring it was. No, another split decision win. What's up, bro? What's up, Chris? Last night's card was one of the worst of all time. It was boring. You see, my AI picks did well. Unfortunately, not well enough, but they did well. I'm realizing that the very best, like on Tapology, I was looking at people, I'm starting to sort of recognize who the best of the best are at picks. And I noticed that the best of the best at picks, their success rate is around 63, 64%. That's like after thousands of picks. Or hundreds of picks even, at least. So there's a challenge, but the AI did actually still do well. Because that's the thing. The best of the best at this pickings game. Their averages are only like 62, 63, 64. So if I'm in that ballpark, at least the AI is doing well. Failing the challenge, I'm just trying to put a positive spin on it. UFC needs to get rid of the Apex. It's hurting the company. It's hurting the company. I don't know if I agree with that. Here's what I think they should use the Apex for. They should use it for like YouTube exclusives or some shit. Like, I agree. Like a fight night, it's like, if it's a sport, right? If it's a sport and it happens week in, week out, right? During the basketball season, lots of matches week in, week out. During the football season, week in, week out, blah, 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 blah. If the UFC really is just too difficult to line up an actual place, like an actual event or an arena, because that's the idea of the Apex, isn't it? It's just really difficult for the company to line up a venue once per week. I don't know how the WWE manage it, but maybe they can follow the WWE's lead. Maybe they can switch out the ring for the Octagon after Friday Night SmackDown and use it for the weekend. That'd actually probably work really well, actually, that setup. But yeah. But as a compromise, do seasons, man. Do like a UFC, because it's a football season. UFC is like constant, isn't it? Maybe UFC could go to a season. Take a few months off once a year. I don't know. The UFC needs to get rid of the Apex. I agree, but it's like, what can you do? What can you do? There's obviously a reason they're using it. There's obviously some... I don't know. I reckon WWE to the rescue. How hard would it be to take their setup on Friday Night SmackDown, take out the WWE stuff, put the Octagon in, done. You know what I mean? Use all the same barriers. Start giving the UFC fighters the actual entrance. Like, they don't have to fucking do anything. Not like an actual WWE entrance. Let them just let them come out down a ramp to some music, you know? They huddle out of a fucking tunnel, you know what I mean? I don't know. They should do UFC 3160 in Austin, Texas. Maybe over 26 minutes of control time in 2 separate fights last night. Yeah, fucking boring. Can anyone tell me why Gilly picked GM3? No idea. Good evening, Lane. Jiggy, I thought GM3 would snatch a late sub. Anyway, Izumir do Brazilians struggle very hard against the grappling of chain wrestling? They do usually. I think it's just jiu-jitsu. Yeah, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. I think wrestling, it's just, it does seem to be dominating. It does seem to dominate Brazilian jiu-jitsu a lot. Especially the bloody Sambo Dagestani style wrestling. One of the guys who owns it said the Apex saves them money, and doing more events there would make them more money. Well, in that case, gold digging European, if that information's out there, then it needs to be. It's not a decision for Dana White, right? Dana White is trying to make money. If it makes money, it makes money. If you know the event is coming up at the Apex, don't do whatever it is that gives them money. That's what I'd do. Vote with your fucking wallets, and Dana White will soon have questions to answer. And when he starts asking around, it'll be like, yeah, get the fucking Apex. Sad to say, it's not a Dana White decision, it's a fan decision. If you don't like the Apex, stop consuming the product. If the viewing figures plummet, if the gambling numbers plummet, the engagement on social media plummets, it won't take them long to stop using it. It just needs to make them less money than using the Apex needs to cost them less money than doing what you want. Until then, they'll keep fucking using it. UFC quality is getting watered down by the Apex. Well, yeah. Apex cards are also hurting the Contender Series guys. Yep, I can see how that would happen, yeah. Especially Bob. That's why they don't care about the quality of the fighters. I am surprised, actually, like, I don't know, the quality, like, I'm watching the undercard, right? Obviously this week was bad, but the last couple of weeks, the quality I'm seeing in the prelims, like, I don't know, man. I think it's like, you expect to see a difference, don't you? It's like if you watch Premier League football in the morning and then in the afternoon go and watch some League 2 side, you're going to notice a very clear difference. I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's not that big a difference. I think the difference starts in the top 5s. But I'm seeing top 10 fighters and unranked fighters, and I'm like, I don't know. Let's have a Apex card full of decks every time. That's definitely a good thing for the product. I don't know, I'm sure there's a place for the Apex. Sometimes fighters just need to get a fight in, yeah? It's not so much about pulling in pay-per-view numbers and social media engagement. They simply just need to be active so they can cultivate their MMA record and then let Dana White know who's actually worth investing in. But yeah, I don't understand why the Apex fights have to be televised or used for fight nights. It's just atmosphere, isn't it? With the Apex, there's no atmosphere there. But like I said, man, they're partnered with like WWE now, and WWE have that shit locked down. They've got what? They've got SmackDown and Raw visiting a fresh venue every single week, including worldwide. They're globetrotting as well as going somewhere new every weekend. 2 shows at once, going different places, new places every week. Surely if these companies are together now, why can't they share that infrastructure? Like, when you look at WWE, you go in there, 20-odd thousand people watching, it's all good. You know, once they're done, take out the ring. Obviously, you need a bit more space for the Octagon. I think the Octagon's way bigger, and you just push the barriers back. If you look at every week WWE set up. they're surrounded by level seats because that's the bit where a basketball court or something would normally be, or whatever it is. You can just push all that back and then have UFC in that exact same venue the next day with the same setup. All the music, all the rigs, everything's already done. I reckon that would work, and it would allow UFC to have a 20,000+ crowd week in, week out for every fight night, never needing to go to the fucking Apex again. And they're already doing it. Imagine that. You're partnered with the WWE. They're already doing it. It's like all you have to do is say, wait up, lads. Push that back a bit. Let us put our octagon there. And can you come back tomorrow evening and then clean up? Right? They're already, that's the company's, anyway, the company's already doing it. I reckon that'll happen, actually. It seems more common sense now that you say it out loud, but it does to me anyway. Because how much does the UFC? They're in these little arenas. You go to the O2 in London. There's only about 50, there's only about 10,000 odd in there, isn't there? Or 15,000. Most of the UFC venues are a similar size as WWE venues. So just tag along. New meta in UFC is learning to coast stall. You have to stall in order to save cardio most hard wrestlers. So, all right. Anyway, I'll catch up with chat. Let's just move on. Oh yeah, sorry. Tonight, we've got the UFC Picks Challenge update. And if Musical's around, we're going to just have a look at some PC build options so we can consider these as options. But yeah, for now, let's move on.
Knowledgeable fisticuffs. Tomorrow's news. In 2 days from today.
If you are watching this, you are part of the BKWA. That stands for Bodach's Keyboard Warrior Army. Bakwa, fighting lies, tyranny, and corruption. One meme at a time. Legacy media is dying, my friend, and memes are now the world's #3 news source behind Elon Musk's X and Chuck Norris movies. If this segment isn't illegal, it will be eventually. Welcome to Knowledgeable Fisticuffs, your sword and shield against globalist scum.
Why is Muhammad such an easy target for us? According to me, it's because Muhammad was the most obvious false prophet in history. According to Robert, it's because the people inventing Muhammad for their new religion made him sound like the most obvious false prophet in history, when they could have made him sound like absolutely anything they wanted. The most reliable, most trustworthy, most miraculous person who've ever walked the planet. Instead, they come up with a guy who thought he was demon-possessed, repeatedly tried to commit suicide, delivered revelations from Satan, was a victim of a magic spell, delivered false prophecies, accepted a meal prepared by a woman whose family had just slaughtered, died in exactly the way Allah said he would die if he fabricated revelations, married more women and girls than his own revelations allowed, married the wife of his own adopted son after causing the divorce by lusting after her, loved sucking on the tongues of little boys, was constantly covered in semen, and left us with a pretty good idea of where that semen came from. That's what they came up with. I think we can conclude that in spite of all the exaggeration, embellishments, problem with the Muslim sources, these guys were reporting on a guy who actually existed.
Do you know, I got bloody banned on TikTok. I got banned on TikTok for talking about such things. Usually is saying, oh yeah, I read that, sorry. Jiggy's saying, they don't care if the Apex cards get no views. They get guaranteed money just for filling a certain number of events. That's true. That is true. The gambling industry, man. So fucking powerful. Because you got the dog racing. The dog racing, there's no one goes to the dog racing. I mean, there's obviously a little stand and some people there, but like maybe 100 or so. No one goes. There's thousands of dog breeders training racing dogs, and half the horse racing events, no one's there. It's mad, isn't it? How much of sport is propped up by gambling. It's madness. I don't care, man. Blame the matchmakers too, with the matchups. True. I feel annoyed. I know, like, because it's the fight game, it has to work differently, because obviously the fighters are going in. I'm addressing Big Ank, and yeah, it's different. It's not like when you play football, it's like, right, you need to present a team at this time to play this team, and if you don't, you forfeit. And if you forfeit too much, you get kicked out. It's like, what can you do in fighting? It's not like you can say, right, get in the fucking cage and risk getting your ass beat, or worse, getting murdered or killed by accident, developing CTE. You can't force them to fight. But, like, I mean, at least boxing tries, right? Boxing tries. I don't know this. I have never looked it up. But does the UFC have mandatories? Does it have mandatories like boxing? Because when you've got a certain belt in boxing, they'll say, right, the number one contender for this belt is blah, blah. And if you don't have this fight within this, what is it, like a year or something? I don't know what it is, but whatever that time is, they strip you. There's no interim. There's none of this. You are stripped. You're not there to defend it. And I like that. Because, yeah, you know, like, you might think, oh, yeah, but what if the fighter's injured? Yeah, if the fighter's injured, then he's probably not the best fighter in the world, right? Currently, he might be once he's well. I don't know. If they don't have mandatories, UFC should definitely introduce them. I don't understand this fucking... Why the fuck is there interim champions going along? The only reason there's an interim champion in the first place in Aspinall is because there was a actual champion who was inactive. In boxing, that inactive champion is stripped of their title. I don't give a fuck what these fuckers say. Like, oh, but he is the champion though. He was never beaten. It doesn't matter. Yeah, sure, no one beat you in a fight if you get stripped, but who gives a fuck? There's more to it than that. It's not just about winning the belt. You've actually got to defend it and conduct yourself as a champion. Anyway, between stallers and women's fights, the quality is at an all-time low. And the other thing, Jiggy, is UFC really need to freshen up their coverage. Oh my fucking god, the 20 odd minutes between the end and start of each fight, the next fight, it's boring. It's so boring. It's been horrible, yes. They put Robert Valentin, who's an exciting fighter, and rather than have him get a solid win, you give him another wrestler. Fuck's sake, it goes to show where it's at. Bodach, tell me to stop being lazy and go for a walk. Email Malson. Stop being lazy and go for a walk. The Apex Fight Nights are basically contender series. Fair enough. They do better on the main stage, yes. They are scrapping Eat the Barrel with contender series now. Set up a new gas station faster, Tom. Fucking hell. Best production on YouTube MMA. Gold digging European. Are you referring to me? I'm not YouTube MMA. Unfortunately. I'm a friend of YouTube MMA. But I am casual as fuck. I'm casual as fuck. I'm that nice guy, like, because it is a hostile community. And I imagine if you visualize this community in a pub, you've got all of you lot who love your MMA. You know what you're talking about. You know the fuck you're talking about. And it annoys you if you have to talk to someone else who hasn't got any fucking idea what they're talking about. And I get it. It's annoying. When you know about shit, it's so much more... what's the word? It's so much more fulfilling to speak to other people who also have knowledge, but maybe a different perspective. But when you're just a complete casual... Welcome to the Bodach Show. We'll learn. Come, they're hostile, but they're nice people. You come to the Bodach Show, and when you're ready, you can join the autistic world of fight predictions and beefs. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But yeah, no, I know what I'm saying. I'm not YouTube, a part of YouTube MMA. I'm part of YouTube casual MMA. MMA is about 20% of my show, with the quiz and the AI picks. Just get a car, you bum. Okay, that's not nice. Even the interim champions aren't mandatories in the UFC. Fucking hell, Jiggy. They got no such thing as a mandatory. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like, I know it's not boxing. But I don't know. Well, I do know. Obviously, I fucking know. How do you solve the problem with inactivity? You've got to fucking pay them more. That's the only way. That's the thing about fucking UFC fighters. They'll climb and they'll climb and they'll climb. Like, look at George Masvidal. Right? He peaked, right? Like, he was good and he was like a rising prospect. He lost here and there, but then he went through that little peak where he had, what, like 4, maybe 5 really good fights. And all of the money he made, almost all the money Masvidal made, was in those last few fights. Because of the way it works with the UFC, they earn fuck all money. And as soon as they peak and it fades off, that's it. Look at Colby Covington. For a very, very, very short spell, he was able to get about, what, 500k? He's not getting offered 500k a fight now. There's no way he's getting offered 500k a fight now. I reckon at most he'll get like 200k. If. You see what I mean? Because they don't earn any fucking money until they've actually made it. Once they've actually fucking made it, one fucking loss. And that's the difference between maybe headlining a UFC event and getting a couple of million and being back on a fucking mid card fighting for 100k. You know what I mean? They need to do something. They need to bring in mandatories or just fucking pay them more. It must be worth it. MMA's become one of the most popular sports on the face of the fucking earth. It's one of the top 10 sports in the world now. Yeah, so true. The coverage is beyond stellar. Exactly, Jiggy. The UFC's coverage, my God, it's boring. Because when I watch it on catch-up, I skip it all. when I watch it the next day. So a UFC event is very short for me normally. If there's a bunch of knockouts, it's quite short. I skip it. I'll get it. I'll watch the little bit where they're talking in the beginning. But the second they start running video, the exact same fucking promotional videos they've been spamming on social media all week, and they replay it again. They don't even record any. That's another thing about the UFC. It's so fucking lazy. They'll do their little interview with the fighters, post it on social media, and then play that exact same clip on the pay-per-view that you've been seeing all week. That is cheap and lazy, man. If you're going to have all this fucking coverage on the show, at least do exclusive versions of whatever that coverage is. It's so annoying. Yeah, it's so... They got to fix that. It's so weird. There's just an energy, like... That's the one thing that's good about football in Europe, and like when you watch it, the energy is just right. Even the adverts. Man, UFC's got to sort this, but their sponsorships make no sense. They milked the life out of the adverts last night, I know. Yeah, it's such bad coverage. Malison and Eamon. Come on, Weston. If you want to fight, let's organise it. Let's do it. I bet Malison with JVD's leg trying to climb into a lifted truck. What's up, Tom Raid? Haven't seen you here before. Welcome to the Bodach Show. Maybe I was just beyond bored. What are you talking about, File? They milked the life out of the adverts. Yes, they did. Hell, maybe even more than your yearly salary. Hang on. Whatever truck I own in your head costs more than your mum's pay, Malison. What's going on, Tom Raid and Malison? I don't know. I lose track of who Malison's trolling. And I always say Malison. And I always hear everyone else say Malison. The amount of people I say, it's Mailson. Email Mailson. I don't know why I think I heard too many other people say Malison. JVD his leg. You know you're injured. You know you've had an injury that's bad when you become the nickname for it amongst your social circles. Any point buying Nvidia? I personally think they're washed. That's a good question. Depends. Is it a gaming rig? If it's just a straight up gaming rig, no. When it comes to like straight up shading, rasterization, and all the rest of it, everything outside of ray tracing, you get a massive amount of, the value for money is much better on AMD. If you want the best of the best of the best, then that's Nvidia. But if you've only got 500 quid to spend, just give up ray tracing. Give up ray tracing. Go AMD. And you'll end up with more VRAM, more processing power, and you'll be able to run things better. Now, do you want to, is this a workbench? And by that I mean, are you going to be using video editing software like Photoshop, Premiere, DaVinci's Resolve, and all them other kind of things? OBS. Maybe you want to stream your game. Then you have to be Nvidia. because they've got, first of all, they've got CUDA. I think AMD's, if I remember rightly, is called ZUDA. CUDA cores are just way fucking better. That's all the stuff that accelerates all your software. All those CUDA cores. That's what's going to make your video editing software run smoother, your Photoshop, and all that other lovely stuff. And now you've got all the AI integration. If you boot up Photoshop, there's AI integration. If you boot up After Effects or anything like that, there's AI integration. Everything's got AI integration. So if you go in NVIDIA, you've also got their Tensor cores, I believe they're called. AMD have theirs, but NVIDIA are light years ahead. So again, when you've got any natively running AI stuff, a current generation, like a 50,000 series NVIDIA is a must. You're just not going to get the same from AMD. So it depends. If you're building a budget PC, then obviously you're going to go AMD. Because the thing is, if you're willing to sacrifice ray tracing, AMD is going to give you the frames at a way cheaper price. I like ray tracing myself, and I also do a lot of video editing, so I do NVIDIA. But I'm looking forward to it. I think AMD is going to catch. I think AMD is going to catch up. I think AMD are going to do to NVIDIA exactly what they did to Intel. You can tell with the new generation. Because most people, if they're building a PC, everyone's going to go AMD. AMD. It's a no-brainer. But the best chips, the best of the best, is still Intel. When you actually add it all up, energy efficiency, temperature, speed, and all the rest of it. It's just no one spends that kind of money. Most people are going to think, all right, I've got about 300 or 400 quid from a CPU. What's the best I can get at that price? And that's always AMD. Anyway, sorry. Save you money for a new leg, JVD. Chrissy K, how do you escape from Methsol's basement? Methsol's basement. Who's Methsol? I bet Tom wishes he looked like Canelo so he doesn't get racially profiled. Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? Like, Canelo. A pasty white, ginger freckly, ethnic Mexican. Tom fears you. Oh, there are a lot of people that fear you. Email Melson. I bet Melson wishes he wasn't a closeted gay man. Or email, are you a closeted gay man? Tom fears amusement park height requirements. Why is that? Is he too short to get on? I don't think the 50 series have justified their existence. Absolutely not, JVD. They absolutely haven't. There's only one thing that justifies them, and that is if you want AI power. It's the one thing. They're just, NVIDIA are just light years ahead of AI processing units. But yeah, other than that, like if you go and look on eBay right now, you like, let's say if you're going to build a rig, you want to build a rig, and it's going to be loads of video editing and all that kind of stuff. And it doesn't matter if you have the AI tensor cores and stuff. The AI functionality will just fall back on your straight up GPU. Now your GPU isn't going to run it as well as the actual 50 gen AI units, but it's still a fucking cunt loads quicker than using a CPU. So you don't even need to worry about that. So yeah, you're right, JVD. They don't justify their existence. But let's say you want to build a rig and it's for video editing. What you want is CUDA cores. You just want CUDA for days. And if you go and look on eBay right now, for a 3080, so that's 2 generations ago, a 3080. On that card, you've got two NVENC encoders. Bearing in mind that one of these encoders can handle a couple of things at once, so you can multitask your fucking encoding. So imagine when you're rendering your videos, how handy that's gonna be. It's a powerful GPU. I think it's still one of the top 30 most powerful graphics cards in the world. Right, and it's got 9,000 CUDA cores or something. And the 4090, or the 4080's only got like 10,000. The 58's only got like 11,000. You can go and buy a card 2 generations ago, 38 on eBay, for about 300 quid, 300 to 400 quid. And it's got more CUDA cores than the 50 series card, like the 70s and the 60. That brand new are like 500 and 700 quid. You can go and get a 3080. You can go and get a 3080 for a few hundred quid. And you got CUDA cores for fucking days. If you're building yourself like a second rig or something and you want it for streaming. I've got my gaming rig as a 4080 in it. I'm not upgrading. There's no need. As JVD correctly said, the 50 series they just haven't justified their existence. Bodach explained to Tom's Mongoloid Mexican skull what ray tracing is. This was an epic saga. Remember at that time, Email Malison got a tapeworm. Tom's gonna check. Yeah, Tom, if you don't know what ray tracing is a nice to have in gaming. A lot of people think they need things in gaming. A lot of people lose sight of what's needed and what things that are nice to have. Like people think they need 120 plus frames a second. No, that's a nice to have. That's a nice to have. Personally, if you get a 90 or more, you're fucking good. You're fucking good. If you're booting up your rig, if you're competitive, but actually that's a good point. If you're playing competitive shit, right? If you're playing competitive shit, first of all, you're gonna have all your settings turned down to minimum anyway. You know, if you're actually playing competitive first-person shooters, you're going to have all your fucking settings down to their minimum. So even if your fucking PC's 10 years old, it's still going to run hundreds of frames a second. So it's not an issue. But if you're like me, and you like your cinematic experience, you like your ultra settings, 90 frames, man. 90 frames. For me, you upgrade your GPU when you knock down to high settings and you can't get 90 frames. That's when you upgrade. People just like the numbers, don't they? They like doubling all the time. HD TV 4K. They just, they like the squared numbers, don't they? But yeah, 90 is the sweet spot because you're playing your games and you're on 90, but something happens and there's a frame dip. That dip is going to stay way above 60 frames a second, so you won't notice it if you've got good frame timings. Talk about Tom's Mexican mum working 3 jobs so he can wear Shaq's to school. I don't know what a shack is. Is that like Shaquille O'Neal's clothing or something? I remember Madison had a tapeworm because he would talk to Sick Soul about it. Who is Sick Soul? They commiserated over the intestinal worms. Oh, Jesus. No. That's reminded me of something Vinny said. Didn't fucking Vinny, the guinea, once claim that you can cultivate and harvest tapeworms out of yourself and use them for things? I can't even remember now. He definitely said something about fucking tapeworms. I've made fun of Madison's dad, but the reality of the man that was beats out of anything vile I could say. But the reality of the man that he was beats anything vile I could say. Oof, Tom Rudd, that's brutal. Tom's mum gave me sloppy toppy behind their taco truck. Sloppy toppy sounds like a disgusting sex thing you don't want. Nvidia fake frames. Exactly, Charles Smith. The 50 series, yeah. The fucking fake frames, man. I use DLSS all the time. I do use that all the time, I'll be honest. Because I play at 1440p. So the upscaling technology, if you're playing at 1440p or 4K, the upscaling technology works way better than on 1080p. But yeah, I always enable DLSS because it's like it's free frames. You always get a massive boost of frames, and I can't tell the difference. If I enable that shit on a 1080p screen, I can see there's a clear quality difference. It makes shit look blurry. But when you're playing at higher resolutions, it works really well. It's just free frames. But yeah, that's only on the brand new titles as well. The thing is about the DLSS as well, and the FSR4, is there's a two-way relationship to it. It's not just about them providing the technology; it's also about the actual developers working with it and helping it as much as possible. You can't just say, upscale it, because it's going to guess wrong all over the place. So when you get like a new game, the developers have actually gone into it and implemented these technologies. You know, they work with it now. It's not some mystery. There's a relationship between the developers and the technology and the company. So like when you enable it now, like if you enable it on Cyberpunk or a new game, I can't tell the difference on DLSS. I've only noticed if you enable it on old games, it looks a bit shit still. It's because they're not coded to sort of to layer the game in a way that helps DLSS. Because it's not just taking the one image and upscaling it. It's like if it's like weather and weather conditions and shit, it's like it's giving the DLSS the bit before the weather's applied and then applying the weather at normal, you know. I'm probably just chatting nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, modern games, man. They take fake frames. Yeah, fuck that shit. But the rest of it, DLSS, upscaling, perfect. I think I applaud it. Yeah, ray tracing murderous performance. I got a 4080 though. That's what I mean. I get to enable it. It absolutely crucifies performance, but Like I play Cyberpunk with ray tracing, DLSS. I'm getting between 90 and max frames. Turn the ray tracing off. And whatever my card does then, you can get that on AMD for about 300 or 400 quid cheaper. Remember when builds used a feature called SLS Cross? Yes, I had a pair of 780s. I had a pair of 780s. I think I built maybe like 2012, 2013. That PC, I swear to God, lasted me 10 years. I swear to God. It was only the gaming rig and shit I got now. I built that a couple of years ago. It's about 2 years ago now, I think I built my gaming rig. And before that, it was the dual 780s. Mate, like 2 or 3 years ago, I was throwing Red Dead Redemption at that and it was fine. It was fucking doing all right. Graphics low, render distance ultra, shadows off. Exactly. That's the thing. If you're going to play competitive games, man, you're turning all that shit down. If you have all the luscious grass and all the amazing shadows and deep black shadows and stuff enabled, you're giving your enemies places to hide. So you turn it all off. You mean you can gaming? You know what I mean? Yeah. Still can't believe Cheddar Cock got diagnosed with fat leaking into his brain and making his shit all retarded. He says his IQ is nearly 500, pal. Developers don't optimize code anymore. And that bit is true. That's the only reason there's BS like fake frames and having to buy a new GPU every 5 years. That is perfect. Yes, exactly, Charles. I see that in my profession as well. In software developing and stuff. You've got all these amazing tools and libraries and utilities that do so much heavy lifting for you. And you've got all these people walking around and they're calling themselves software engineers and software developers. But they're not. Like I know some people who are what we would call a front-end developer. More specifically, React. Now, React is cool. It's what Facebook and Instagram's built with. I also believe Netflix is built with it. And a whole bunch of... You interact with React all the time. But I know someone who knows React. And all they know is React. That's it. Just React. I know a bunch of these people, by the way. You meet them all the time. They can't code and build React itself. They only know how to use React to build websites and apps. And they're walking around calling themselves software engineers. Right? If you ever find anyone call themselves a software engineer, and all you got to do is ask them one question. And you say, what language do you use? And bear in mind, they're going to say React. It's not actually a language, but they'll say React. It's JavaScript. It's a JavaScript library. And just have a quiet chuckle to yourself that you've got some person who's deluded enough to think that they're actually an actual software engineer, knowing one thing. Now, most real software engineers look at React as one tool. It's just a tool. It's one tool in a toolbox. There's so much more to it. There's databasing and database architecture. There's backend and you got your cybersecurity, your functional stuff. there's a massive tapestry of it. Like, to put out a proper digital product, there's a tapestry of technology going on. If you're in web and shit and that, you'll be using different languages to those in software, and you'll be using a different language to those in AI. And there's so many different ways to be there's so many ways to do front end. But yeah, the game's developing is exactly the same. You've got these people who are going around calling themselves a fucking games developer, but they've not. They've learned how to use the Unreal software. And that's it. They know how to boot up things like Blender to build up to get a 3D model, and then how to pull it into Unreal Engine and rig it with a skeleton so it can move and run, and then, you know what I mean, and then like map it for collision so you can shoot at it and stuff. But it's all done in the software. It's all done in the software. They can't optimize the results that come out of that. They're not coding any part of it. All they do is hit render or compile, and what comes out the other end is a game that looks really good, looks really cool, looks amazing, looks next gen, runs like fucking shit. The whole industry, man. People are fucking stupid, and this is what's going to happen with AI. Makes people dumb. People don't understand that when you get these tools and assets that you can use, and they make your life and job easier, you're not supposed to jump on it and let it make your life easier. You're supposed to jump on it, master them, and allow the trivial things they've replaced to stop wasting your time, so you can now be more ambitious. It should still be hard, even though these tools have made certain aspects of it easy. You hear what I'm saying? I see so much of it in development, in computer development. AI shouldn't be there to do your job for you and make everything easy peasy. It should be there to make the trivial shit forgotten, so you can focus on even bigger stuff, allowing your ambition to grow exponentially. People are so fucking stupid, man. That's laziness, isn't it? It's the definition of it. If someone can come along and make your life easier, most people think wicked. I'm just gonna chill back now and have an easy life then. Don't. Life's supposed to be fucking hard. Make your life hard. If something frees up your time, don't relax. Take that time to make your life harder. You have to. Pardon, I heard the 4080 had 12 VRAM or something that crashes the game because those be sort of illegal. No, it's got 16 gig of VRAM, which is plenty. When you're playing at 1080p or 1440p, 16 gig of RAM, 16 gigabyte RAM has been fine. Yeah, don't. Who is this? Whack a flockaful. Yeah, hang on. I finished with knowledgeable fisticuffs. I'll be with you. Ooh, welcome to my bunker. This is a very, very special bunker. I found we we've known about it for a while, but we thought we should come in and have a look at some point. And what we found, Jasper was doing experiments. Apparently the government can't read signals and brainwaves down here, so you can explore ideas without the government listening in. Pretty fucking cool if you ask me. But anyway, where was I? So, Waka-Flockafall. You heard the 4080. Yeah, the thing is about the VRAM, this is, you get these fuckers do the same thing with like they'll go, oh, look at the Mac, it's so expensive, and it's got like, and the Mac has got way less RAM and all that. It doesn't need it. It just doesn't need the RAM. Right? And you look at like iPhones and Samsungs that will, oh, but the Samsung's got way more RAM. It's because the Samsung needs more RAM, because Android is a piece of shit. It's a piece of software posing as an operating system, and it's a RAM hog. Where iOS is a well-optimized native operating system. It's got much lower memory footprint, and running stuff on that architecture has a much lower memory footprint. Macs and iPhones simply just don't need as much RAM as Android and PCs. And the same goes for like gaming cards. Like VRAM's obviously important, and Nvidia have been really fucking stingy. Because you absolutely need 16 gigabyte of RAM. Bare minimum. Bare fucking minimum. Right? Now I'm lucky on a 4080. You don't need to worry about your VRAM because you've got a graphics card that allows you to enable ray tracing. That ray tracing, that lets you turn on ray tracing and still keep frame rates 90 plus at 1080p or 1440p. Same with the 5080. So that VRAM's never going to cause... You don't need that VRAM. That's what I'm trying to say. It's never going to hold you back to the point. It's never going to hold you back more than the ray tracing already does. But yeah, so on one side, Nvidia are very tight, still trying to sell cards with only 8 gig or something. But on the other hand, 16 gigs is plenty. If you're going to play at 4K though, 16, you're going to need more. If you're playing at 1440p or 1080p, 16 gigs is fucking fine. Unless the developers have used the most retarded fucking gaming engines. Asus Strix G13. Cool. Developers are so fucking lazy these days. They are. And they don't actually understand at a core fundamental level what's happening. They're just really good at using the software. And don't get me wrong. It's fucking crazy advanced software. Like, let's say you're good with OBS and you're good with Adobe software and you like live stream as a cartoon. And you're really good with software. You use quite advanced software every day. Now go into Unreal Engine. That is some fucking in-depth fucking software. It's like AutoCAD, but with an extra 1,000 different options. And it's amazing when you look at Unreal because you can make desktop games, mobile games, and you can make virtual sets. At one point I did want to try and see if I could do the Bodach Show. That's the only reason I know this, by the way. I thought, oh, I'll make an Unreal virtual set. How cool would that be? Yeah. You know, there's people out there that get a degree in this shit. They get a master's degree. You know what I mean? And after 2 or 3 years experience doing it, snap up jobs that pay mid 6 figures. And I'm like, oh, yeah. It's like, it's not something you can just Google. It's like, that kind of bummed me out a bit. I did want to learn how to use Unreal. I know that I'm not going to go out there and make some game or anything, but it's with Unreal you can use it to make virtual sets, and you can use it to you can actually use it to build apps as well. And I thought that, I don't know, I thought there would be some sort of basic level to it that would allow you to build stuff and get good at that basic level stuff and then start working your way up the levels. But yeah, the learning curve on Unreal Engine is steep as fuck. It's so steep. And very, very little experience with things like Adobe software and AutoCAD and things like that give you much of an advantage trying to pick it up. Pay them less. Yes, JVD, pay them less. Yes, sir. Keep doing it. You're top shelf dude, thank you. I heard the test is Spider-Man 2. Or Last of Us remastered. I've got Spider-Man 2. I got it. I love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man games. I love the first Spider-Man game. I bought it straight away. As again, I love Spider-Man. And it was unplayable. Epic as fuck, but unplayable. So I got into there, getting the opening scene, and you're coming up against Sandman. And fucking hell. Fucking hell. On a juicy gaming PC with all the fucking bells and whistles enabled, everything whacked up on ultra. I'm swinging in at Sandman at like 90 plus frames a fucking second. And it looks out fucking, I can't even articulate it. I was genuinely blown away. What a fucking visual. And I was beating him and beating him. And it went round and round. You can't beat the gun. Every time the little trigger was coming up, hit the trigger and you swing in and you bash him and he gets the shock. He just wouldn't hit the trigger. And this trigger was long. So full 3 or 4 seconds, you're like, oh, I'm hitting that button. I'm hitting that button. That was it. I Googled it. Because I Google everything. And yeah, it was a common bug. I haven't been back since. I mean, I own it. I'm sure it'll get patched and I will go back and enjoy Spider-Man 2, but fucking hell. What I don't understand is, why aren't they just using the fucking software? These studios that work with Sony games, they're working with these obscure or sometimes even in-house gaming engines and all that kind of shit. And they're like, right, here's a Sony exclusive Spider-Man or Horizon or one of the other ones. Make it, and here's the console you're making it for. So they make it for that console using an engine for that console and then go, so yeah, we want to now make loads more money and sell it to PC. And the developers are like, what the fuck? So they then have to outsource it to some other company that does the port, who never get it right. Certain things are just worth standardizing. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if all these different companies are like, right, we need a piece of software for our employees to be able to write documents. Okay, we'll get them Microsoft Word. No. We're going to make our own software. Yeah, but you can just get Microsoft Word. No. All right, what about OpenOffice? No. Well, you see what I'm saying? There's now several, including open source gaming engines. Open source gaming engines, plus you've got like Unity and Unreal And the thing about these engines are, like when you load up Unreal and on Unity, is that the whole fucking point of these fucking things is that you build the game once and it works on all the platforms. You know what I mean? You'll notice that. Anyway. This one time, Madison's brother stole his polo belts, and he bought at Ross, and his grandma told him to forgive him. And to be honest, she was right. Madison should have forgiven his brother before he OD'd. What is this, Tom Reed? Leave it to the CNN to report on racist robots. Exactly. Cheddar cookies confusing IQ with mayo points. Jeez. Isn't it crazy how Emma Madison's mum never cooked when he was a kid? I wouldn't know if his mum cooked when he was a kid. I'm cooking you now though, Thomas. What he's claiming that email says. Jews cheat and women make games. Software and hardware, and they're fucking awful because of it. Yeah, the gaming industry has been woked. It has been wokeified. There's no denying JVD. It's very woke now. But then again, Madison's, oh my God. Unreal is terrible. Of course it's terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. I'm not going to deny, but No, it's not terrible. There's been terrible launches with it. And the thing is about Unreal 4, they never, ever fixed that stuttering bug. All the way from Batman to fucking Star Wars Jedi Survivor, you'd be playing smooth, lovely, and then just for a second, a stutter. It happens on console and PC. But yeah, what they have to do is make the game for the PlayStation operating system and its nuances, the Xbox and its nuances, and then the PlayStation market. Not the PlayStation market, the PC market even. Are they on Team Red? Are they on Team Green? Is it a budget PC or is it a meaty PC? There's so much. You'll notice when you buy these PlayStation games that were ported over to PC, like on Spider-Man 2 and all that kind of stuff. When you go into the graphics settings, they're very limited. They're very limited. You know what I mean? Like some people have some people have a 4060. It's a shit graphics card, but for some reason it's got some good AI functions and upscale. It's got the good upscaling and frame generation. And then someone who's got a couple of generations back, who's on a 3080's got none of that shit, but just raw power. And you've got to build a game that just runs. It just figures this out and just runs well. And all these different graphics cards have different drivers. Those drivers have different APIs. When you install your drivers and stuff for your AMD or your Nvidia card, that GPU and all of its features, it's provided via an API. And AMD have their own syntax and interface, and so does Nvidia. And now Intel releasing their graphics cards. And then you got these APUs as well. What about Macs? These M1, 2s and 3s and 4s and whatnot. They're CPUs and GPUs. And your gaming engine's supposed to just know how to work with this. The thing is about Unreal Engine 5 and Unreal Engine 4 is there's not enough people using it. So if more people use Unreal Engine 5 and 6 when they come out, what's going to happen is the market is going to fill up with more and more and more games, providing all of that data, which allows the people developing the core engine to optimize more and more and more. And the developers will also be aware of certain kinks. And they'll avoid things that trigger it. And what will happen is you'll start getting... You'll just get better. It just will. More users, more data. That's exactly what you need to make the improvements. And then you have all these people using these standardized engines. Not standardized, but just adopt an actual engine. And imagine that every game is built. And when they press compile, there we go. Would like to compile the game, please, and install it as a test. You've got your PC version, your PlayStation version, your Xbox version, your Stream Deck version, your mobile versions. You got all of it. All in one fucking go. But they don't, do they? CD Projekt Red, though, they've given up on their in-house engine. I think they're moving over to Unity. So in the future, Witcher games and the next Cyberpunk, if there is one, I think that'll be in Unity. I mean, programming and AI for optimization purposes could really help the industry, but yuck, Jews, jeets, and women don't innovate. They don't care for new games. I game on a Nintendo 64 and PS2. Don't blame me, Charles Smith. Sometimes I like to boot up the old emulators. What the fuck is Wings of Redemption? I don't know. Tell us about your burger, Betty. I've been laying here in a state of sleep purgatory, listening semi-consciously for the last hour. What's going on, Betty? Smash beef. That's that UK weed. Wow. Nicker, Betty. UK weed's horrible. It's horrible weed. When you go over to Amsterdam and you realise you can just walk into a shop and you can just tell them what you want to get out of it. The thing is about UK weed is it's all sticky, skunky. I don't know if you know the term skunk in America. Skunky, innit? So it's just really sticky, leans really into the sort of THC side, and it's basically just for kids to get fucked up on, really. Because like when I smoke it, for example, I don't like that. I like that granddad's weed, you know? You get it from places like the dark web, you can get that 50-50. You just want to like, yeah, you don't want to get euphoric with that shit. I don't know why people want to get fucked up on it. I heard in the UK, they like to dip their blunts in shepherd's pie. Nah. The fuck? Shepherd's pie, though. I haven't had a shepherd's pie in ages. I'd love some shepherd's pie. Magnesium spray. My gym's most used call out. Bodach. Mate, fucking hell. 5 more days and I can finally get rid of that fucking Italian flag. Anyway, we're doing the AI picks. Got an update. I'm fucking kicking Gilly's ass, by the way. Yet to see a well-optimized Unreal 5 game. It is true, JBD. It is true. But you have to define what well-optimized means. So for me, I'm strict. I'm strict. You see, what was it they had about the consoles? Because like the PlayStation 1 was supported for a long time. So the PlayStation 2 came out, but you could for years you could still buy the same games on the PlayStation 1. And the same again when the PlayStation 3 comes out. They support their older consoles for a long time. So for me, a well-optimized game should mean, let's say if we're in the 50 series era now, you should be able to go back to a mid-range card 3 generations ago, so 6 years ago, put the game on medium settings and get 60 frames a second. So what that would mean now is you should be able to get a 2070 or a 2070 Ti. So that's 6 years old now, and that was a mid-range card back then, a 2070 Ti. You should be able to put that in your PC now. And for a brand new game, you install it and put it on medium settings and get 60 frames a second. I think that is a well-optimized game. And if you do have like a 5090 or a fucking 4090, you whack it on Ultra, and you're going to be playing at like 120 frames a second, of course. But somebody with a mid-range card from 3 generations ago should be able to play that game on medium settings and get a playable experience. Because when you look at like the PlayStation, isn't that nearly 5 years old already, the PlayStation 5? What year was that released? So yeah, the PlayStation 5 was released at the end of 2020, so it's coming up to 5 years old. It's coming up to 5 years old. And they're still selling for just under 400 quid. Some of them 350. 5 years old. So yeah, if you've gone and spent 500 quid on a graphics card, because you're going to buy a PlayStation now, aren't you? A PlayStation 5. And you're going to expect that to, right, shove that in my 4K telly and give me 60 frames a second. I'm going to put performance mode on. Yeah, it's upscaled, whatever, but I want to be playing my game on my 4K TV at 60 frames a second. And you're going to expect it, and you're going to get it. All right, you are going to get that. So, by that same logic, if you've gone, the 2070 Ti would have been about 400 or 500 quid. You're going to buy that, and 5 or 6 years later, you expect 60 frames a second on medium settings. I think, as I believe it, consoles upscale run most of the stuff on medium settings, but they turn up the quality of the textures and the shading, because those are the most impactful qualities that make it look really good. So when you see a PlayStation 5, you're still getting like the ultra level shadows and textures, but everything else is like stripped down to medium. That's what I think they do. I might be wrong. I heard it somewhere. You're basically getting ultra textures and shading, and everything else is on medium. That's how they do it, and they upscale as well. That's how they get to 60 frames. And then when you put it on quality mode, it knocks down to like 30 frames, and that's when you get like high settings across the board. But yeah, that's what I heard anyway. If you ever want to get your PC and mimic a console settings, turn your shadows and your textures to maximum, ultra, and turn everything to medium, and you'll basically get the console experience, but at stupid, crazy high frame rates. UK weed is good, JVD. Come on. Come on. No one believes that. No one believes that. Ever eat jellied eel? No. Bodach is an Ami addict. I don't know what an Ami addict is. You're kicking Gilly's ass. Yes, and I'll bet. I'll leave Tom looking like JVD's leg botched. Fair enough. Right, I'm going to head to the gym. Ooh, hello. Back here. Wait, that's not the right one. Here we go. AI Picks Recap. As you know, I've been experimenting with AI Picks. I will go through what I do to do this. It's something anyone can do. It's not, I'm not doing some clever genius shit. It's really simple. You go to a website called Hugging Face. That gives you access to a whole bunch of open source AI models, pre-trained, some of them partially trained. And on that website, it also provides you utilities as well. So for example, you've got deep learning AIs which scour the internet for you and do some research and data fetching for you. Only the way that it's able to digest data is really good. You're not just getting some raw data, you're getting some AI that actually contextualizes it properly. It's just amazing. It's like you've got a room. It's like you've got your own little factory with thousands of data researchers, and you set them loose, and they go and fucking read millions of articles, and then they just give you a nice little bundle of data. So anyway, you get this, and you say stuff like, "I want to know all of the fighters' stats and everything, round by fucking round, left hand by right hand, and every little intricate detail," and off it goes. And what you get from that AI is a nice, big, huge bundle of data. It's a file, gigabytes and gigabytes big. And then you move it over. Again, these are all the utilities are provided on Hugging Face. You're not coding anything. You're just booting up. You're booting up a deep learning machine learning model, asking it to do some research. You're getting that data, and then you're moving it over to a Llama model. Now, Llama is basically Meta's version of ChatGTP or X's Grok. Only with Meta, they open source theirs. So every time they train it and do blah, 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 they give it away for free. And they make it really easy for you to take the data out and use your own data. And that's what I do. So you do the machine learning bit first, get that big lump of data. Through the utilities, you then put that in with the language model. And now you can ask it questions about MMA fights with an outrageous amount of in-depth data. Now, of course, ChatGTP, Grok, they all do it. But the difference here is when you ask ChatGTP to do some research for you, it's very surface level. And if you ever look at it, what it will say is, I'm looking at 50, 60 different web pages. They're looking through Wikipedia, and then they're looking through the Wikipedia citations, and they won't go that much deeper. They might scan through the first few results of Google, maybe the YouTube page, and go. It's not that deep. It's very superficial. Still completely fucking phenomenal. And some of the answers you can achieve so fucking quick can spare you hours and hours down rabbit holes. So don't get me wrong, it's amazing. But what I've done is when my deep learning thing goes running, it's scouring through thousands of web pages. It's Google. It's going through social media. It's going through Googling. It's not just Google. It's other search engines as well. It's going through YouTube. It knows the content of all the videos. It doesn't have to watch the videos because the videos come with an auto-generated transcript. So when my deep learning one goes off, it's picking up copious amounts of fucking data. It doesn't just know about the statistics and shit. It knows about what people are saying about these fighters. Then it's going into the language model. And Llama, I believe, isn't as good. It's not as good as ChatGTP or Grok, but it's plenty good enough to analyze this. Chat GTP 3.5 was good enough to analyze this. So yeah, that's how I'm doing it. It's harder to explain than it is to do. But yeah, like I said, Hugging Face, check it out. All the utilities are there. You get this utility, boom, and then you run the model, boom. Oh, you want some custom data, do you? Well, then you can add it, that boom there, and yeah, you'll be surprised. Fully trained language models, only about 6 gig, but that all runs on your computer, by the way. This is all running on my computer, so yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm at 61%, I think. Oh, you chat ahead. My topology is 66.6%. Is it, Jiggy? We'll be fact checking you. We'll be fact checking you, Jiggy. My problem is I made a few fucking stupid predictions. No AI or anything, just me thinking that I might know some of it. And I did really badly. So I need to get like 10, 20 cards in. But yeah, I'm currently at 62.5%. I'm at 62.5%. But yeah, we'll get into that anyway. Where were we? Yeah, so the AI picks, yeah. The challenge is to see if my AI can pick UFC event fight winners with an accuracy of 70% or higher for 10 straight weeks. Last week it was 83% when I got 10 out of 12 predictions correct. But here's the results. I got 4 wrong this week. I got 4 fucking wrong and I didn't get none of... I'll also point out that last week I got a shit ton of my prop bets. I got a shit ton of them. I got fuck all prop bets this week. But yeah. So what that means is I got 8 out of 12 picks with an accuracy of 66.66. Now I will point out that 66.66 is still to be considered very good. When you compare the pick rate on topology of the best, and you're talking about the best of the best. They're the best in YouTube MMA at picking. They're professional gamblers who do this for a fucking living. And that accuracy was there, even though my streak ended this week, that's still good. What I've worked out is that anything 62% or above is good. Maybe as low as 61. I did do a couple of little questions on the old chat GPT anyway. Can never say it. Yeah, I can't remember what the fucking thing said now. I asked it what, if you were just to basically put 10%, if you're going to put 10 quid on every single fight, what win percentage would you have to get for it to be profitable on average and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I do believe anything 65% or over, if you've put like a bet on each fight, you've probably made some profit in this. But yeah, I haven't watched the fucking thing. But yeah, 66% accuracy. Anyway, still good, but not good enough. I've already seen this fucking slide. Jasper's glitching. Jasper! 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 Stop ignoring me, Jasper. Jasper! I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill him. Jasper! Okay, it's doing something. Ah, fucking hell. Seen that one, Jasper, come on. Seen that one. Jasper, keep showing the same fucking image each time. What are you doing? Jasper. Jasper. I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm gonna straight up murder you. I swear to God. I know what's happened. I know what's happened. Oh, you motherfucker. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. So basically, I can't do jack shit now because I've fucked up my visuals. I fucked up my visuals. Oh no. Oh no. What the fuck even happened? Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna have to come back on Tuesday and show you. Basically, me and Gilly had we had three disagreements. We had 4 disagreements. And Gilly got 1, I got 3. So our aggregate score now on week 2 is 4-2. I'm 4-2 up on Gilly, but I'll come back on Tuesday. I did the visuals as well. What the fuck? For some reason, visual 3, 4, and 5 all shared as the pick visual. But yeah, we'll come back here. We'll come back to this on I'll recap on the Gilly bet on Tuesday. What the fuck, Jasper? It was going well tonight. Oh. Hello. Yes. So, what was it you want me to pull up? You want me to look at the topology picks? I can definitely do that. Let's pull up the Jerusalem. Let's pull up the Jerusalem chart. Boom, there we are. As you can see, I was 13th still. So I didn't hit my 70%, which is this is what I'm saying. This is the scary thing about my AI picks, by the way. Like, I've set myself this 70% challenge. Can I get 70% or higher 10 weeks running? Which is crazy. See, crazy. So yeah, I'm delivering the bad news. I didn't get the 70%. The streak's over. I'm back to square one. And you'll get my picks on Tuesday. But look, even though I didn't beat my own personal challenge, I'm 13th. And if you look at the correct picks, I got 8 correct. Only one person. There's only one person in this entire Topology League out of the 45 that picked more correct than me. Is that actually MMA Joey, the actual one? Or is it like a mod account? And look. Is this the actual MMA Joey, that fucking liberal? Or is this like a piss take, one of him? But yeah, if you look at his, he's always up there. So he's at 66.3. Let's have a look at the previous event. And look, there he is again. Look, always near the top. Didn't do so well that time. Didn't do so well that time, or maybe he didn't put a pick in. And there he is again up there. So yeah, obviously I'm sticking to my challenge, but I think quite clearly so far I had a good week last week. So if you look last week, I came 5th. The week before though, I did have a stinker. That's what I'm gonna say. But I'm gonna say I made some several adjustments after this card, and I completely got rid of the bookies odds and all that kind of shit. The bookies odds are just not factored in anymore, and I made some quite big changes to how I run the prediction after this event. And then the very next event I got 5th. And then the very next one I got 12th. The reason I think that I didn't do so, I got bumped down to 13th. If you look, the picks are up there. The picks are up there. The best picks, the best pickers in the game. It's just my prop bets let me down this week. But to be honest, if you look, a lot of people are going decisions. Like, this card was boring. And there was a lot of decisions. And these guys really do seem to get it. Richard F. Jiggy. You know, there you go. There's Jiggy. Jiggy with 66.6 fucking accuracy. Look at that. See, me, I'm 62. But bear in mind, I have had a few fucking awful... I had a few things. See, for me, the AI experiment's only a few weeks old, but I did put all these stupid fucking picks in before. So there, I just need to be involved in enough cards to dilute the impact that's having on my averages. But yeah, so far on week 3, it is definitely higher than 62.5. So yeah, fucking hell. Let's see who I beat as well. Let's see who I beat. Who do I recognise? Woo lad. Nubby. Good Noodle. Good Noodle's normally really good. He's normally up there. Cheddarhead. Beat you. Gilly, of course. You got 6. How many did I get again? 8, Gilly. That's 2 more than you. 2-0. There we go. Guru the musical. Guru. Your picks have... I'm not being funny, but musical. Sometimes your picks are shocking. Not an AM, bro. There we go. Beat you as well. Anyway, we'll do more picks on Tuesday. So join me Tuesday, 10 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Tuesday, I didn't see musical in the chat, so we're not doing the PC build. I quit doing Tapology because I kept on getting mad whenever I had a pick wrong and stopped enjoying the fights because of it. No way, Tats. I'm the exact opposite. I'm now watching more UFC than I've ever watched before. Even all the early prelims, exactly because I'm doing this experiment and I'm actually putting it out there. Because if this goes wrong and I just keep fucking bombing week after week, that's no good. But imagine if this, even if I don't hit the challenge, so far, my percentages are up there. 60. My percentage this week was exactly yours, Jiggy. It wasn't Jiggy's question, it was Tats' question, but Aaron Tats. If I can keep a clear Like 66. If I can keep it like 65 and above, I will prove that my AI is good enough to at least be the foundation of a like parlay betting strategy. Right? Because I'm trying to get my fucking head around these gambling terms. And Gilly's tried, but Gilly knows the problem with Gilly is he's too deep into it. And I'm like this with coding. I can't talk to people about coding who don't know anything about coding. I just don't know how to. I'm so deep in, I don't know what terminology to use that you're going to understand. And I'm not saying that to be arrogant. It's just when you've been doing something for 20 plus years and you just get that way. I need you to have a foundational understanding of what I do and an interest in order to be able to speak openly and fluently with you and just basically just get in hash, really fucking chew the fat with you. And I think Gilly's like that with all this fucking gambling stuff. He doesn't understand that I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So when he's going on about the gambling, but I did try a few YouTube and that's when I realized there's no good information, by the way. If any of you gamblers out there, trust me, if you can dumb this shit down for muggles so they can understand what the fuck you're doing, you're going to get some views. But as I understand it, the first part of successful gambling, especially with like the MMA and all that, is you do actually have to know the sport. You have to know the sport and you need a foundation of being able to pick the winners at least more than half the time. So for Jiggy, for example, when we look at his topology, you've quite literally put in over 1,000 picks. No, you haven't. 6, 7, 8. You've put in 900 picks. And 66.6% of the time they come through. So that would be the definition of somebody who's figured out how to make picks. And from what I understand, but don't have a fucking clue yet, is that when you've got that foundation, you can now formulate a betting strategy using parlays and whatnot around your picks, knowing that you're going to be correct 60% plus of the time. There's a way or a pattern or a way of spreading the bets that mean that you almost, the way he described it is you take away the house edge. You take away the house edge. And then that's it. Like, the return, when you hit, the returns are huge. And when you don't hit, the losses are minimized. And sometimes you can literally not even lose your money. That's how I understand it. The way you spread all the bets around and the parlays and all that. I might be completely wrong. But if my AI proves to be that accurate, it could be the foundation to some successful betting strategies. And I will do that. That'll be the next step. Maintain consistency at 60% plus. Get my fucking head around parlays and all this fucking shit. And then get one of these things. Because you can do it with fake money, can't you? And yeah. See if it works. The accuracy comes first, though. It is only week 3. I've had 2 good weeks and 1 awful week, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Call the AI Skybet. Ha! There's already one. Trademarks. Obviously. I mean, at the minute, I'm comparing to successful gamblers. Bloody, where's my drink? Anyway. It is important game name. Musical is shocking at picks. Zero glove knowledge. He is awful at the game. He is awful at picks. Are you starting over on a 10-week AI picks at 70% streak? Yes, Lane. That's the deal. Obviously the Gilly bet is rolling, so we're week 2 on the Gilly bet, and I'm 4-2 up. But yeah, I got over 70% last week. I didn't this week, so we start from scratch. If I get 70% again, that's week 1. Week 2, week 3, week 4. I do want to gamify it because I obviously know that I'm never getting 10 weeks. And if I do, I'm sorry. I think Gilly's right. Someone's going to fucking assassinate me because they can't have people having 70%. You know what I mean? I know. So I thought I need to gamify it a different way. So if I can get 3 weeks, something, and then 4 or 5, you know. Imagine though, 10 weeks in a row, 70% plus. Am I understanding this parlay strategy stuff right? It's a way of spreading and hedging the bets in such a way where at least some of them are going to come through, always. And if more than half of them come through, you end up fucking getting shitloads of money. I don't know how it works. If you get more than half of them, you get shitloads of money. And if you're already picking shit at 60% accuracy, the chances of that happening are higher for you. So you can make a profitable gambling strategy out of it. I don't know how these fucking parlays work. You need to be like fucking Rain Man with a... I'm good at fucking math as well. Can you post a link to the Topology group? Of course I can. Of course I can. It's not my group, by the way. I did think about starting one, but do you know what? Everyone I would expect to go in there is already in this one. Anyway, no strategy can save if your picks are trash. Exactly, Black Betty. So if you've developed an AI that's 60+% accurate week in, week out on average, am I correct in thinking that can then be used as the foundation of a successful bet gambling strategy, an actual profitable gambling strategy? And you speak from experience. Yes, AI is Bodach's strategy right now. Of course it is. I was 7 and 12 and 3 methods. I just want to know. I want to know and I want to understand all the fucking stuff that's going on. Bro, when's the real face stream for 300 subs? Oh shit, yeah. I keep forgetting. Kind of got lost. My sub, oh, I've gone to 312. That is very cool. Oh wow, 16 of you are watching on YouTube. That's actually high. That's really that's higher than average for for the end of my Sunday streams. When I get to around midnight on a Sunday. That's cool. Oh, popped something. Oh man, I really appreciate you hanging by. I am going to head off though because it is midnight. So yeah, Tuesday I will sort these fucking visuals out and then we'll do the recap on the Gilly bet. I guess we're going to save the PC stuff until Tuesday if Musical can join. So yeah, we'll do the PC thing and the Gilly bet update then. My AI picks will be on Tuesday. And do you know what? I'll spam out and see if anyone fancies coming on for a chit chat. Like and subscribe and all that loveliness. Even if you've got accounts for things you don't really use, if you follow me on there, that'd be amazing. If you head to Bodach.show, the link's in the description. Also check out the users in the description. There's a list of friends to the show. If you don't subscribe to them, I would very much appreciate it if you go and subscribe to them as well. Thanks to the mods. If you've had to do anything, I appreciate it. I don't even know. I guess there's no more. Hang on. Who's actually banned? Is anyone? I don't even know if anyone's banned. Let me check before I go. But yeah, like and subscribe. Help me out. The bet with musical's done. There's no way I'm gonna get 200 subs in a couple of weeks. Right. Let me see. How do you check who's banned? Right. Banned. Let's have a look. Okay. So who are my moderators? I got Flipping Spatulas, Thumbnail Queen, Musical MMA, Jigsaw, Lane, File, Gilly, and Western Mass Club. Oh no! Gilly has to be removed as a mod because he didn't win the quiz. The rest of you, I'm not doing the mod for quiz winners anymore because I end up with like a million mods. So none of that, we're stopping that now. So I'm just gonna Far Western Lane. Anyway, sorry, who's banned? Who's banned? So we've got Goose Play 20s. Yeah, well, we know why he's banned. Destiny, that's the same guy. Goosey Audits, that's a goose again. Douglas Memos. Oh yeah, musical banned him. Nanny Lane. I don't know who Nanny Lane is. And Chiwiwi. I don't know who that. Chiwiwi, I recognise Chiwiwi. And we've got Douglas's Pet Gin. Do you know what? I am so surprised Vinny the Guinea's not on there. I'm so surprised. And considering my blocked words have the I nearly said it. Had the N word. Because in my blocked words has the N word in it specifically. I'm amazed that it seems to be said an awful lot without it filtering. What is this blocked words bit for? That's it. Okay. That's it. I had 3 blocked words. 3 blocked words. I don't want YouTube being able to have these 3 words in my chat. And that is the N word, my first name, and my last name. Anyway, why is Chiwiwi banned? I do not know. I'll leave it to the mods. Are mods able to see the list of people who are banned and unban them? I don't know. I have no idea. Some dickhead is live. Who's live? Oh, Split Decision live. Hank the Tank. Yes. Fucking fantastic. Yeah, go raid Hank the Tank. I like to have Hank the Tank on, actually. Sunday's probably a good time for him actually, because he works. Normally when I'm streaming, it's 2 o'clock. I don't knock. Yeah, okay, yeah, please. Can you shove Hank the Tank's link in again, please? Head over to Hank the Tank. There's 19 of you watching. I'm very grateful. That's amazing for a Sunday, considering I don't really have any sort of things to do. Split Decision. Yeah, go raid. Thanks for joining. Bye. Like, subscribe, all the rest of it. Wonder if Vinny has bitten any cops lately. Probably not. I had an AI song ready for if you wanted to try and troll, and I never got a chance to use it. Wanker. Anyway. I'll see you on Tuesday. MMA quiz on Thursday. See you later, people.